Hello and welcome to this special episode of the GrowVC Everyone Funding Startups podcast. And why is it a special episode? It's actually because Jouko and Valto will be traveling to the US, kickstarting our US operations within a week now. They're actually both leaving tomorrow. Initial activities include a panel at South by Southwest, which is already on March 13th, and that we're definitely looking forward to. So Jouko, what do you look forward to in terms of this US leg? What kind of plans do you have lined up?
Yeah, you mean that what we are going to do in the US? We are basically, I would say that we are going to meet a lot of people, and of course we have already many members and users in our service. Also from the US, so that I would say that about 25% of all our members and users are coming from the US. But basically what we are now starting is to have also much more local operations, so that we have local people in the US, and we also have the first partners to work together in the US market. So that I would say that what it means is that we can offer also much more for the local people in the funding, but also through our partners in the US market. And that's why I see that it is also a very important step for us, but it is also a very important step how to get a new funding model in the US market. And of course, it is maybe the most important market at the moment for the startup funding, so that it is definitely important, and we want to be very much so that we have also the local people, we have local presence, and we have basically people who can help our members also locally. And of course we want to have also much more members in the US. And then, of course, South by Southwest is very important to be also, and it's actually a really good honor for us to be able to run a panel in South by Southwest, because it is anyway in certain way one of the leading events in the world in the startup and technology area. And we are running a crowdfunding panel, and basically we are going to talk about our concept, but we are going to talk also generally about the funding market, and how new kind of solutions have started to come, and basically what is the value, and a kind of combination of different kind of models, and how they can work together, how they can support to create more successful startup companies.
And also, when people think about the US or entrepreneurship, they often think about Silicon Valley and how that ecosystem functions there. But from our many talks, even on our podcast, we've heard that there are many inefficiencies in this early stage, and many things that can work better even in Silicon Valley. So what do you think is unique in terms of what GrowVC brings to the US, and what is kind of our justification of what we're doing there, especially in areas like Silicon Valley?
Yeah, I would say that really key points of our service are open, transparent, global, and effective. So that I would say that those are the keywords. And open means that anybody has opportunity to look for funding. And it doesn't mean that all people get the funding, but it means that we have a few people who filter, who can publish their plan, who are able to basically apply money. It's open, and it's a kind of crowdsourcing model how we evaluate companies, so that basically it's really based on the crowd and what different people are thinking about, so that it is not only about a few experts who can make decisions, who can be successful and who cannot be successful. Of course, global is important aspect for us, and it doesn't mean that you always must look for investors outside the US. It doesn't mean that you must invest outside the US, but it means that you have opportunity to have a network of investors in different places. And it means also that you can diversify your investment so that you can invest also in other countries. And we, of course, want to make it also very effective, so that basically effective market means enough demand and supply, enough information, and low transaction cost. And those are definitely things that what we want to also make possible for this startup funding. And I think that actually good comparison somebody said to us is that we are a little bit like American Idols or Idols competition in any country, that basically it gives opportunity for each individual who is talented to become a star. And we have in certain way also the same model to make decisions, so that it's basically people are voting, but in our case they are also voting with their own money, so that it's really to open opportunity for anybody, when I would say that many other models that are very important and valuable, like, for example, many incubator models, but also some other places where you can list your startup today, they are much more controlled models, so that basically there are some people who filter offering, and basically there are different kind of criteria how companies are selected, and that's fine. It's good for some companies and it's good for some investors, but there might be a lot of new stars, new ideas, new entrepreneurs who are not able to pass this kind of gates, and we want to really offer that kind of opportunity, that there are no gatekeepers, but it is basically people can make decision and anybody can become a star.
And looking at your US plans right now, first of all, you of course have South by Southwest in Austin, in Texas, and there you run the panel. But then after that, where will you be spending your time in terms of after the panel, and what do you have lined up in terms of areas, locations, and meeting a lot of people?
We have quite a lot plans, but before that I actually want to emphasize that we have now also local people in the US, so that I want to emphasize to everybody that it is not only that Valto and myself are a few weeks in the US, but it's basically a new organization in the US and people who are basically developing the market and working with our members all the time. And we have people in West Coast and we have people also in East Coast. But Valto and myself, after South by Southwest, we go to Silicon Valley. Definitely Silicon Valley is also very important for us, and we establish different kind of functions also in Silicon Valley, and we actually have already now several partners also who are based in Silicon Valley, and it will be also an important location for us in the future, definitely. We also go to South California, so that we have actually also people in Southern California, in Los Angeles, Orange County area, and we are meeting also basically investors and entrepreneurs there. And we have also plans to stop East Coast, so that we can also meet local people there. So that it's a kind of opportunity to meet a lot of different kind of people, partners, but also our own people who are now starting to develop the local business activities. So that it is really important to understand that it is not so that we plan to only run some network in the US from outside the US, but it is very much that we want to have local people, and we have to have also local organization to run the network in the US and develop the market, because definitely it's so advanced and important market that it's important that we really understand